did a live yesterday and I was up at the campsite and I don't get that great a reception, and I looked over the video and there's a lot of spots where it's blurry, and I'm trying to show you guys these charts here, but I wanted to basically go over the entire story of channeling the 181 symbol. Channeling the 181 electromagnetic symbol and the Thoth, the Jed pillars, and the Lords of the Nine, connecting it to the calendar system, creating a calendar cipher system, but essentially channeling the Thoth, the Jed pillars from the Emerald Tablets Thoth, the god of Atlantis, and this is Thoth taken apart. I know this is backwards, but I'm gonna flip this phone around here. But I wanted you folks to see how if you take the word Thoth apart, Thoth, you get 10 ones or 5 sets of 11s. 5 times 11 equals 55, and the 11th Fibonacci equals 55. And we're talking about the electromagnetic force and the L11th Fibonacci 55 that lines up with the number 528 hertz on the Thoth, the Jed pillar that I created, and 528 hertz is the precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum, and L11 days equals 3.01% of the year, when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. So yeah, we're gonna go over these charts here and tell the story of channeling the Lords of the Nine, the ninth harmonic on 5/9, the 181 symbol on 5/19, along with the 1331, the 383, the 1144 hertz. I channeled Horus, the Falcon Sun God, on 4/8 of 2021, and that's whenever this really began, was whenever the date that I was reading this book. And in the book, this guy, he's in Cairo and he's channeling Horus, and it's the date 4/8, and it's noon sharp in the book. And I was like, I just read the book The Alchemist, and that same year, so I was like all into just recording every little thing that I was doing, and I was inspired by the person in the book. He's like, it was noon sharp, it was the date 4/8, and I was channeling Horus, the Falcon Sun God, and I went to look at my clock. It was 4/8. The date was 4/8, and it was noon sharp. And I was like, holy shit, this is really fucking weird. So I documented that, and a year later on 5/9, that's the date that I would research the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo, and it was the actual day of the celebration when they're first celebrating that day on 5/9, 5/11, and 5/13, and this is all about the fall of the Roman Republic, the rise of the Roman Empire, colonization, Romo slaying his twin brother Remo. You could say that 181. One eats the other one. So this was on 5/9 of 2020. If you go on my Instagram, Paul Manarz, PaulMunarriz 1177 Instagram, on the date 5/9 of 2022, you'll see that I post that story about researching the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo. And also in a separate post, I posted a picture of 44 hertz versus 432 hertz, a chart showing all the different harmonics between 44 hertz and 432 hertz. And I wrote, we're in the ninth harmonic of the photon belt, allowing us a glimpse of the veil living in this 44 hertz altered frequency simulation. And I'm researching the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo 181 in 44 BC, like 44 hertz simulation. So I didn't catch that until looking back 2 years later. I was like, dude, the twins. Ramo is being slayed. The Republic is falling. The solfeggio tone, Re, equals 9 hertz, like 432 hertz. The digital root of 432 hertz equals 9 hertz. 4 plus 3 plus 2 equals 9 hertz. So the etymology of Ro Mo, Mo meaning more, Ro meaning man, more man slays more Ray, Ray equaling 9 hertz, and this is in 44 BC. It doesn't get more obvious than this. The masculine slays the feminine. More man slays more Ray, the masculine slays the feminine. 44 BC, and they build the city from 44 hertz up rather than 432 hertz. And Romo and Remo, their father was the god of Mars or some shit, right? God of war or some shit like that, somewhere along those lines. I'm not saying that exactly correct, but they are related to the god of war, and you guys go research that shit yourselves. But the story goes, I channeled Horus, the Falcon Sun God, on 4/8 when I was reading that book. 117 years, precisely 117 years later, after the guy that wrote the book was channeling Horus, the Falcon Sun God, at noon sharp on 4/8, and 117 years later on the dot, we're talking about Horus, the Falcon Sun God, and homies in Cairo. The vibrational value of the granite sarcophagus in the king's chamber measures 117 hertz. The granite sarcophagus in the king's chamber of the Great Pyramid of Giza. We're talking about Horus, the Falcon Sun God. The date 4/8. 48 days equals 1 month and 17 days, like 117, equaling 6 weeks and 6 days. When the date 6/6 equals 157 days, like 117, minutes equaling 157 in time. Horus, flip those letters around it. You can write it as hours or horizon. This is a master of space-time. Just like Thoth. Thoth represented the sun god Re. The solfeggio tone Re equals 9 hertz. Just like Ramo being slayed, like the Republic falling. Romo slays Remo, the Republic falls. Ramo gets slayed, the Empire begins. Colonization, a story of colonization. So to have channeled Horus, the Falcon Sun God, on 4/8, and then the story of researching the story of Romo and Remo on 5/9, and also channeling that we're in the ninth harmonic of the photon belt on 5/9, when the ninth harmonic is Re. The solfeggio tone Re is the ninth note, equaling 9 hertz. The ninth harmonic equals 99 hertz, when 99 minutes equals 139 in time. On the 139th day, 11 days later, I would channel this 181 symbol after channeling the ninth harmonic of the photon belt and researching the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo. 181. The twins. L. Evan. Let's see, L. Evan days. Let's just go ahead and flip this backwards. You guys don't want to look at my ugly face anymore. Oh, holy shit. Sorry. So yeah. Channel this 181 symbol 11 days after researching the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo, 181, and that we're in the ninth harmonic of the photon belt. So the twins, those are twins right there. That's your electromagnetic force. 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. 181 days? Hold on. 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like the precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum connected to the sound system. 528 hertz, precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum. 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. That's your electromagnetic field symbol. Flip that thing up on its side. It's the 181 symbol. And to equal 5 months and 28 days, we're talking about time. 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. like 528 hertz, the precise center of the L electromagnetic color spectrum connected to the sound system, your L11th Fibonacci 55 lines up with 528 hertz on the thought digit pillar when, where'd I go? What? Oh yeah, other thing. That's right. It's on the. I had the right idea. When 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, L11th, your L electromagnetic force, your precise center of the L electromagnetic color spectrum. This 181 symbol is the electromagnetic force symbol when you flip it up on its side. Whenever we take apart the word thoth, you get 5 sets of 11s or 10 ones. You can organize those into 5 sets of 11, and the 11th Fibonacci is 55. Your 55th octave above sound is light. The date 5/5 equals 126 days on leap year, mirroring 6/21, your longest day of sunlight, 6/21, summer solstice. And yeah, 55 lines up with 528 hertz on this Thoth the Jet Pillar cipher system. And I wanted to get into the actual, holy shit. Give me 1 second here. I got so many slides here that it's weighing this thing down. I'm in my Jeep over here in Sedona, and I've been on this journey for a year and 4 months now. I left back in November of 2023. So I channeled that 181 symbol. Channeled this 181 symbol back on 5/19, 11 days after the Lemuria on 5/9. 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181 minutes equaling 301 minutes time. So another thing that I forgot to tell you folks, so I remember I channeled the ninth harmonic of the photon belt on 5/9, 11 days before I channeled this, and the ninth harmonic of the photon belt equals 99 hertz, right? The ninth harmonic equals 99 hertz. 99 minutes equals 139 in time. All right? On 5/19, that's the 139th day of the year that I channeled the 181 symbol. On the 139th day of the year, whenever 11 days before I channeled the ninth harmonic of the photon belt, researching the story of Ramo being slayed and the Republic falling, and Ray equals 9 hertz. You guys have no idea what we're about to get into here. I've gotten so over organized that, yeah, it's fucking on right now. You guys are about to get a crash course in the Thoth, the Jet Pillars. So yeah, to channel the 181 11 days after channeling the ninth harmonic of the photon belt, and this was on the 139th day of the year, when the ninth harmonic equals 99 hertz and 99 minutes equals 139 in time, and on the 139th day of the year, I'd channel the 181 symbol. 11 days later, when 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. And I also channeled the 383 monogram on that same day, whenever 383 days equals 118, the date January 1st. When you mirror that, it equals 811. When 811 minutes equals 1331 in time, like your 1331 monogram that we channeled on the same fucking day as the 1144, the 383, and the 181. And the dates that lined up with 1144 hertz in the Thoth Jet Pillar was the date 1005. 1005 minus 1144 hertz minus 1005 equals 139. That's the date that we fucking channeled this thing, on the 139th day of the year. So the mathematics of this shit is crazy. We use the 19 circles of the flower of life. 19 circles in the flower of life. 190 weeks equals 1331 days. We're talking about weeks, and we're talking about days and time, right? When fucking 19 days equals 5.19% of a year, when I channeled the 1331 on the date 5/19, and 61 circles in the flower of life, 19 circles in the flower of life, 19 flipped upside down is a 61. Go on Google and Google how many circles are there in the flower life. It's going to tell you there's 61, and it's going to tell you there's 19. So remember, 19 days equals 5.19% of the year, like 19 circles in the flower of life, and channeling this symbol on 519. 190 weeks equals 1331 days. We're talking about time. 61 circles in the flower of life. 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 1 day. Like your 181 symbol. So the level of fucking synchronicity that's happening here is off the charts. So yeah, so I channeled Horus, the Falcon Sun God, on 4/8 of 2021, 117 years after Homeboy channeled Horus, the Falcon Sun God. He was in Cairo, Egypt, and 117 hertz. That's the vibrational value of the granite sarcophagus in the king's chamber. And 101, the date, plus 4 months and 8 days equals 5/9 the Lemuria. That's the date that I channeled the ninth harmonic of the photon belt. 199 minutes equals 139 in time. The ninth harmonic is 99 hertz, and on the 139th day, I would channel the 181 symbol on 519. And 202 months and 20 days later, on 8/8, when 8/8 equals 220 days, I would channel the thought, the Jed Pillars, the Lords of the Nine, when 22 days equals 528 hours, and 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like 528, the precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum. Not only that, I'm gonna hold off on, yeah, the line. This connects with the Lionsgate portal. So see how 88 months equals 7 years, 4 months, and 1 day, and 519 days equals 74 weeks and 1 day, like 741 hertz. Channel the 519, channel the 181 on 519, right? Channel the Lords of the Nine on 8/8. Thoth is related to the planet Mercury. Planet Mercury takes 88 days to travel annually around the sun. This might be too much for you folks. Like, if you guys can't handle this shit, you guys go watch some other, like, video of indoctrinated fucking knowledge. This is brand new shit that's never been told before. A story that's never been told. So, keep in mind, I channeled Horus, the Falcon Sun God, on 4/8. Thoth is related to the planet Mercury. Mercury takes 88 days to travel annually around the sun. Thoth represents the sun god Re. Re is the solfeggio tone that equals 9 hertz. Horus, the Falcon Sun God, Thoth repaired the left eye of Horus. That's whenever Horus was back to being himself again. Because when your left eye is not working and you're just using your right eye, your right eye is your masculine projecting eye, your judgmental eye. The left eye is the absorbing eye that's absorbing your divine feminine frequency. So yeah, 4/8 channeled Horus, 101 plus 4 months and 8 days equals 5/9 Lemuria. That's when I channeled the ninth harmonic of the photon belt and researched the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo. Re equals 9 hertz. The Republic falls, Remo gets slayed. The ninth harmonic equals 99 hertz, when 99 minutes equals 139 in time, and on the 139th day, on 519, I would channel the 181 symbol. When 2 months and 20 days later, on 8/8 equaling 220 days, I would channel the Lords of the Nine, connecting frequency with time, creating the thought, the Jed Pillars, on 8/8, right? And then 139 days later, on 12/25, when Horus was resurrected, when Horus, the Falcon Sun God, was born, I was peacefully dropping a deuce on the toilets in my house at the time, whenever I had a home. I'm currently in my Jeep right now, have been since November 4th. But yeah, it was Christmas morning, and I was dropping a deuce. I had my eyes closed because I was planning on going back to sleep, and lo and behold, I hear a massive explosion, and it's not my ass. It's outside my fucking house, in front of my house. There was a transformer This is a picture of the actual transformer. I photoshopped the lightning in just for like special effects, and I got a picture online of a hawk that was already fucked up because I didn't take a picture of the original hawk. Just being honest with you folks. But yeah, I went outside and the hawk had a giant hole blown through its chest from the transformer, which is plasma, electricity, L, Horus the Falcon Sun God, plasma, electromagnetism, 528 hertz, the precise center of the L electromagnetic color spectrum. So this was on Christmas morning. Christmas Day, 1225 equals 8640 hours, 8,640 hours. The diameter of the sun equals 864,000 miles. Not only that, Christmas Day 1225 also equals 518,400 minutes, like the angle needed to perceive light refraction, 51.84 degrees built into the slope of the Great Pyramid of Giza. We're talking about Horus the Falcon Sun God here. So yeah, that happened on Christmas morning. And remember, I channeled Horus on 4/8 of 2021, 117 years after Homie did. And the granite sarcophagus measures 117 hertz. And 101 plus 4 months and 8 days equals 5/9 in Lemuria. And if you're one of those people that's like, this motherfucker's channeling Horus, and Horus is fucking evil and fucking... Yeah, so if you're one of those people, so watch 37 Degrees in Freemasonry, right? Freemasons. 3 hours and 70 minutes equals... That's not what I'm looking for. Where am I at? Yeah, so remember I channeled Horus the Falcon Sun God on 4/8, and there's 37 degrees in Freemasonry, right? So you have to know this little equation here before we can even move forward. So Leo the lion holds the flower of life. There's 61 circles in the flower of life. Leo mirrored and flipped, spelled in capital letters upside down, is 037. Leo the lion holds the flower of life. There's 61 circles in the flower of life. 370 minutes equals 610 in time. And if you're like, oh, the O should be over here, and that doesn't make sense. Well, 37 times 3 equals 111. 161 circles in the flower of life times 3 equals 183. 1830 in military time converts to 1110 minutes, like 111. Like your Indian Removal Act of 1830 and your Days of the Dead on 11/1. Your Cairns burial mounds that resonate at 111 hertz, and your underground Hypogeum Temple of Malta resonating at 111 hertz. Where do we bury the dead? Underground, in burial mounds. And you can look that information up. It's very well documented by Paul Devereaux, an archaeoacoustics professor out of Cambridge University. So we're talking about 37 degrees in Freemasonry. Remember how 61, 370 minutes equals 610 in time, and Leo mirrored and flipped is 037, and there's 61 circles in the flower of life, and Leo the lion's holding the flower of life. 370 minutes equals 610 in time. 61 minutes equals 101 in time. 101 minutes equals 141 in time. 141 minutes equals 221 in time. The Lion's Gate portal, 8/8. The Lion's Gate. We're talking about Leo the lion. The date equals 221 days. See how that connects? So remember that 101 and your 37 degrees in Freemasonry in this whole little equation here, if you can. Because there's layers upon layers upon layers to these rabbit holes, and it requires mathematics and being able to comprehend shit like this. So 101 plus 3 months and 7 days, like 37 degrees in Freemasonry, equals the date 4/8. 37 degrees in Freemasonry times 48 equals 1776, the date that the U.S. claimed their first 13 colonies in 1776, the date that the Bavarian Illuminati were founded in 1776 on 501 by former Jesuit Adam Weisenhaupt, when 501 in time equals 301 minutes and 181 minutes equals 301 in time. The date 501, the date that the Illuminati were founded, is on 121 days. 121 days, like L11 times L11 equaling 121. L mirrored and flipped is a 73, when 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. Get the fuck out of here. So if you're anybody that's like, oh, he's channeling Horus, if if you're just judging me in any type of way, go fuck yourself. Because 37 degrees in Freemasonry, 101 plus 3 months and 7 days equaling 4/8. The date that I channeled Horus, the Falcon Sun God. And 37 degrees in Freemasonry times 48 equaling 1776, the date that the U.S. claimed their first 13 colonies. Who's on the dollar bill? Your Freemason George Washington out of the Fredericksburg, Virginia Lodge. And the Illuminati founded in 1776. So remember this theme right here. 101 plus 3 months and 7 days equals 4/8. Because 101 plus 4 months and 8 days equals 5/9 Lemuria, the date that I channeled the ninth harmonic of the photon belt. And that story is the beginning of the story. So 37 degrees in Freemasonry, right? 3 hours and 70 minutes equals 410 in time. The date 410 equals 101 days on leap year. Like 61 circles in the flower of life and 61 minutes equaling 101. 37 degrees in Freemasonry is equal to 61. And we're in the calendar. I've connected frequency with time, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get into a lot of shit today. So if you feel like taking notes, good for you, because I don't expect anybody to. And I apologize if I'm a dick, but I've been on this mission for over a year, and I'm finally prepared to tell a story. And I've been living in my Jeep for over a year and 4 months, and barely fucking getting by. Barely getting by. All my support's coming from my Instagram accounts, and that's where I post most of my lives. So, yeah, channeling the 181 symbol, and for this equation here to link up with the founding of the U.S., 37 degrees in Freemasonry times 48 equaling 1776, the year that the U.S. claimed their independence and the year that the Illuminati were founded. And let's see. Yeah, 101 plus 4 months and 8 days equals 5/9 Lemuria. Colonization, colonization, colonization. These are colonization codes. So from the Lahaina fires on 8/8, the Lionsgate portal of 2023, to the Gaza attacks, colonization on 10/7 of 2023 equals 61 days. Like 61 minutes equaling 101 in time, and Leo the Lion, you're 37 degrees in Freemasonry, and Leo the Lion, we flipped to 037, and 370 minutes equals 610 in time, when there's 61 circles in the flower of life, and Leo the Lion holds the flower of life. And 101 plus 3 months and 7 days equals 4/8, and 37 times 48 equals 1776, the year that the U.S. was founded. So knowing that the power of this code here, and for that to equal 61 days in between these two colonization acts, and then the gematria for climate change equals 101, the gematria for Maui fires equals 101, the gematria for Palestine equals 101, the gematria for ley lines equals 101. What direction do I even want to go? Your Lionsgate portal, kids. Remember, I channeled this 181 symbol, and this creates the bones of the Thottajid pillar here. We're using the 61 circles in the flower of life. 61 minutes equals 101. When we stack two 101s on top of each other, it creates the 181. Right? When 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 1 day. 61 circles in the flower of life. Your 181 sigil symbol. Broken space-time symmetry and photon absorption, the golden angle 137.5, the number that manifests in the spirals in sunflowers and pine cones. When we multiply that times 8 you get 110 hertz. That's a misprint. I wrote 119. That's supposed to be 110 hertz. Your root harmonic of 44 hertz in the second octave. Your L11, drop that zero, you got your L11 days equals 3.01% of the year, when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. So we're using your number of broken space-time symmetry, your photon absorption. These are harmonics, music harmonics. This isn't, if you look in the textbook of sound healing, you'll see these exact same harmonic notes, and we're using this to build the Jed Pillar system. These sections, your root chakra, your sacrum, your solar plexus, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye, these are all taken apart into sections, and these curved lines represent, or these values of these numbers represent these curved lines that are, it's like a sigil taken apart. And the 1331 and the 181 and your 383 are part of this sigil system that's mathematical, connected to frequency, to time, the number of broken space-time symmetry, the 19 circles in the flower of life, the 61 circles in the flower of life. Watch this shit. 61 minutes equals 101. When you stack two 101s on top of each other, you make it 181. 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 1 day. We're talking about time. Numbers of broken space-time symmetry. When you take apart the word Thoth, you get 5 sets of 11. Your 11th Fibonacci equals 55. 550 days equals 18 months and 1 day, like 181 days equaling 5 months and 28 days, like 528 and 181. 550 lines up with 528 on the Thoth of Jed Pillar. And this is like the beefed up version that's not like the cartoon version that I just showed you. So you're seeing your actual electromagnetic force. So we're using electromagnetic force, L11, electromagnetic force. +1, -1, 0, +1, -1 spells the word Thoth. It's showing you the masculine positive out, the negative feminine cathode going in. The 0 represents, that's the tube. If you're to be looking down this tube connecting you from the ether to the earth, you'd see the circle. So this is all about, if I was to flip this, or flip that forward, it would be the electromagnetic force. So it's all about perspectives. And so the Lionsgate portal, channeling the Thoth of Jed Pillars on 8/8, and the 181 on 5/19. Now watch how these connect, because this shit's crazy. 1 hour and 81 minutes equals 221 in time. The date 8/8 equals 221 days on leap year. So 8/8 equals 220 days on a regular year. On 5/19, I channeled the 181, and 2 months and 20 days later, on 8/8 equaling 220 days, I channeled the Lords of the Nine, when 22 days equals 528 hours, and 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. If you can grasp that shit, it's these numbers just keep intertwining with the solfeggio tones, the 9 solfeggio tones of frequency and time. So Leo mirrored and flipped is 037, 61 circles in the flower of life, 370 minutes equals 610 in time, 61 minutes equals 101. 101 minutes equals 141 in time, 141 minutes equals 221 in time, 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 1 day, like 181. 1810 in time converts to 610. 1 hour and 81 minutes equals 221 in time, and the date 8/8 equals 221 days. Your Lionsgate portal. 141 minutes equals 221 in time, 221 days. So, this goes all through the calendar system. So, your precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum, the date 5/28 to the date 10/28 equals 181 days, when 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, and the date 10/28 equals 301 days. like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. And from 528 to 1028, 1028 equals 181 days. L11 days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. Your electromagnetic force, your precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum. The number 11, spelled like a L, Evan. Flip that upside down. The date L mirrored and flipped is a 73. The date 73 equals 181 days remain in the year. Watch this shit. L Evan times L Evan equals 121. L mirrored and flipped is a 73. And 730 minutes equals 12:10 time. Your electromagnetic force, it's used to illuminate things. We're talking about light. Your Illuminati, its illumination is light. They're founded in 501, the date equaling 121 days. When 501 in time equals 301 minutes, and 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. Colonization codes 101. So, oh yeah. So whenever this happened, whenever I channeled Horus on Christmas morning, the date that he was reborn, and I was dropping a deuce, and the bolt of lightning blew a hole through its heart, I ended up, whenever I went outside, I took the carcass and buried him in my front yard at the time. But whenever it happened, whenever I was in the moment of dropping a deuce, it sucks that's how the story goes, and I'm not too stoked that that's how I have to tell the story. Is I was taking a shit whenever this happened. But anyways, my eyes were closed, and whenever the explosion happened, that wasn't my ass, and it was this poor fella. I saw a giant white flash in my mind's eye. My eyes were closed, so I saw light without light entering my eye. I was seeing plasma, and who knows what the fuck happened. So upon channeling the 181 symbol on 5/19, you guys have seen the whole story of channeling the 181. So on 10/7 of 2022 or 2023, that's whenever I got my eviction notice for the place that I was living in, that I was paying rent on time all the time. And I paid over $50,000 to this person's mortgage and got nothing to show for it, just like all the other places I paid rent for. But anyways, I channeled the 181 on 5/19 of 2022, and then I got evicted on 10/7. And what was crazy is that that's when the genocide began, from Resolution 181. And I found Resolution 181 the next day on 10/8, and 10/7 was the date that they started to genocide Gaza because of this Resolution 181, right? Remember, I channeled the 181 and created this whole entire thing before any of this even happened. So yeah, so I got evicted on 10/7, the date that they started to genocide people in Gaza, and it was all because of Resolution 181. This was established on 11/29 in 1947, splitting Palestine into two states, creating Israel, and it was endorsed by your Grand Master Mason, President Harry Truman. So remember your 37 degrees in Freemasonry and that whole Leo the Lion thing? And I need to keep that one handy, actually. Yeah, the whole Leo the Lion mirrored and flipped this equation. Your 37 degrees in Freemasonry. 3 hours and 70 minutes equals 4:10 in time. 101 plus 4 months and 10 days equals the date 5/11. That's one of the dates It's one of the dates that they celebrate the Lemuria, 181, 44 BC. And that's the same equation as 37 degrees in Freemasonry, and 101 plus 3 months and 7 days equals the date 48, the date that I General Horus. And 101 plus 4 months and 8 days equals 59 the Lemuria. Keeping that same exact theme going, because we're starting off at 37 degrees in Freemasonry. And this one up here, 3 hours and 70 minutes, 37 degrees in Freemasonry, equaling 410. And then using that same equation, 101 plus 4 months and 10 days equals 511 the Lemuria. So we're dealing with frequency, because the Lemuria is on 509. 509 plus 396 hertz, your solfeggio tone root chakra, equals 905. 905, it's mirror, just like 11.5 mirroring 511. 11.5 plus 396 hertz, your root chakra, equals 511 hertz. And that equals 132 days on leap year, when 132 times 3 equals 396 hertz. We're dealing with frequency. Time, frequency, sigil, mathematics. So for the 181, the resolution 181 would be what split Palestine into 2 states, creating Israel. And if the necessary solution was to ethnically cleanse Palestinians because of the Holocaust, then explain the Balfour Declaration, promising Palestine to Israel back in 1917 to Lord Lionel Walter Rothschild. And that was in 1917 on 11/2, like the Days of the Dead on 11/2, and 59 days remain in the year, like the Lemuria. Celebrating the dead. Celebrating the dead. 5/9 Lemuria, celebrating the dead. The Days of the Dead on 11/2, celebrating the dead. When the British decided to terminate the mandate in 1947 and transfer the question of Palestine to the United Nations, the Jews already had an army that was formed out of the armed paramilitary groups trained and created to fight side by side with the British in World War II. More importantly, the British allowed them to establish self-governing institutions such as Jewish Agency and to prepare themselves for a state when it came to it, while the Palestinians were forbidden from doing so, paving the way for the 1948 ethnic cleansing of Palestine with the Nakba. And if you folks haven't read the Havar Agreement, the Havar Agreement was a deal between the German Zionist Federation and the Anglo-Palestine Bank, and we'll get into that. We'll get back into that, because we need to keep moving forward with this thing, with the Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 5/28, signed into law by your Grand Master Mason, because we're talking about this code here. Consider this like a master Masonic legend, and this number 111 hertz, that's the holy frequency. Your cairns, burial mounds resonating at 111 hertz, and your underground Hypogeum Temple of Malta resonating at 111 hertz. 37 degrees in Freemasonry times 3 equaling 111. So this is your solfeggio tone key within the chakra system. Bust out the Jud pillar. So the chakra system is running at 963 hertz, 852 hertz, 741 hertz, 639 hertz, 528, 417, and 396, right? 963 hertz minus 111 hertz, your holy frequency, equals 852 hertz. 852 hertz minus 111 hertz equals your throat chakra, 741 hertz. So that 111 hertz is a solfeggio key through the body's chakra system. 396 hertz plus 111 hertz, or let's see, no, 285 hertz, or 174 hertz, start at the bottom, plus 111 hertz equals 285 hertz. 285 hertz plus 111 hertz equals 396 hertz, your root solfeggio tone. These are all solfeggio tones. 528 hertz plus 111 hertz equals 639 hertz. And then number 132, number 511, the Lemuria, equals 132 days. Your Days of the Dead equals 11/1. These are frequencies that go within our inner underworld. So 396 plus 132 hertz equals 528 hertz. 417 hertz minus 132 hertz equals 285 hertz. And 132 hertz minus 75 equals 57. And that's why the number 57 and 75 are super important into this whole calendar system and whatnot. So this is the legend, and 37 degrees in Freemasonry, 370 minutes equals 610 in time. There's 61 circles in the flower of life. Leo the lion holds the flower of life. Leo mirrored and flipped is 037. 61 minutes, 370 minutes equals 610 in time. 61 minutes equals 101. 101 minutes equals 141. And let's just focus on 141. This connects with the Lions Gate portal, though, right? So, from the Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 528, like your solar plexus, 528 hertz, to your resolution 181, established on 11/29, 1947, equals 1410 months. This was established, or this was endorsed by your Grand Master Mason, President Harry Truman of the Grand Lodge of Missouri, and he endorsed, giving his full-throated endorsement to resolution 181, his full-throated endorsement, you know, sucking lots of cock. And yeah, 370 degrees and 37 degrees in Freemasonry, 370 minutes equals 610 in time, 61 circles in the flower of life, 61 minutes equals 101, 101 minutes equals 141 in time, 37 degrees in Freemasonry. This guy's a Freemason. Andrew Jackson, he's the one that signed the Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 528. Freemason. 37 degrees in Freemasonry, equaling 141 when 1410 months separates the shit. Not only that, yeah, just hang on for this one, because yeah, whenever I left on this mission, remember I found resolution 181 the next day after being evicted on 10/7, and that's the date that they went to start to genocide people in Gaza because of resolution 181, and that was because of the Balfour Declaration issued on 11/2, promising Lord Lionel Walter Rothschild Palestine and Israel back in 1917. So I was in Coloma, Sutter's Mill, Coloma, and down the street from Coloma, there's this place called Hangman's Tree. This is in Placerville. In Sutter's Mill, Coloma, though, that's where I found the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, and I didn't plan to go there. Somebody took me there after I told them the story, because the date that I left on 11/4, November 4th, the day before on 11/3, that's when I found the Fugitive Slave Act of 1830. And connected that with resolution 181, channeling the fucking 181, channeling the 181, and the 61 circles in the flower of life. 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 1 day, like 1D1. And from the Lahaina fires to the Gaza attacks equals 61 days. And from the Palisades fires on not 10/7, but 107, like 107 and 107. Palestine was on 10/7, and Palisades was on 1/7. From the Palisades fires on 1/7 of 2025 to the Long Island fires on 3/8 equals 61 days. So, yeah, I was in Coloma, and I found the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. That's where James Marshall panned the first gold, and 2 of Brigham Young's Mormon Battalion were there when this happened, and this set off the California Gold Rush of 1850 and the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. And I was here at Hangman's Tree. Look, there's a guy just hanging there, like, oh, it's so funny. But yeah, the address of this place being 305. Abraham Lincoln, he had the mass record hanging of 38 men on 12/26. The gematria for this douchebag's name, 305. When the Fugitive Slave Act 1850, 185 minutes equals 305, and the address of Hangman's Tree being 305. And right in front, the historical landmark being number 141. Like 101 minutes equaling 141 a time. So finding all of this shit out within a fucking month, this shit fucked me up. I'm literally fucking traumatized by this shit. Because I had no clue that this much fucking racism existed. And this is in Salt Lake, this is in Colorado, and this is in Arizona, everywhere in California, everywhere where I've been. The same exact fucking code embedded into every mining town. And yeah, so for the Fugitive Slave Act to 1850 and 185 minutes to equal 305 in time, the address of Hangman's Tree and Abraham Lincoln had the mass record hanging of 38 men on 1226 and his gematria equals 305? Get the fuck out of here. And the historical landmark number being 141 in front of this place, when 1410 months separates the Indian Revolt of 1830 on 528 from Resolution 181 on 1129 of 1947, separated by 1410 months, signed into law by your Grand Master Mason Andrew Jackson and endorsed by your Grand Master Mason Harry Truman. So yeah, Abraham Lincoln, his face is on Mount Rushmore, also known as originally the Black Hills, and this was stolen from them breaking the treaty because of gold, and this was completed on 1031, equaling 305 days, like Abraham Lincoln's gematria being 305 and 185 minutes equaling 305 in time, like your Fugitive Slave Act to 1850, 185 minutes equaling 305 in time, and this was completed on the 305th day of the year. So yeah, I was down the street from, it's like 30 minutes away from Coloma, where James Marshall panned the first gold, and Placerville, where Hangman's Tree was, and you guys saw the mockery of that shit. So I'm over here in Auburn City, a mining town that's 30 minutes away from Coloma, Sutter's Mill, where James Marshall panned the first gold, and yeah, the address of this place, the Oddfellows Lodge on the other side, being 1226 Lincoln Way. The Oddfellows Lodge, 1226 Lincoln Way, just like the largest mass record hanging of 38 men on December 26th, 1226, ordered by Abraham Lincoln. Along with everything else. And the address for the museum on this side was 101 Maple Street, like 61 circles in the flower black and 61 minutes equaling 101, and that connects with 37 degrees in Freemasonry. And there's an Oddfellows Freemason Lodge connecting to this place. While I was in that museum, I got a picture of this plaque. The railroad from Sacramento to Promontory Point. The train that was shipping all the gold from Sutter's Mill and Placerville and Auburn City and Nevada City and Grass Valley. All that gold that was going on that train and going to Promontory Point, creating the Transcontinental Railroad from Omaha, Nebraska to Promontory Point, Utah, to Sacramento to Promontory Point, Utah. So remember the Days of the Dead on 11/1 and Fugitive, the Indian Revolt 1830. 1830 in military time equals 1110 minutes, and 1830 in military time equals 18.5 hours, like the Fugitive Slave Act to 1850. 18.5 hours equals 1110 minutes, like the Days of the Dead on 11/1, and the length of this is 1110 minutes. 6 hours and 90 minutes equals 7:30 in time. L, mirrored and flipped, is 73. Yeah, and it cost them precisely $181 million to complete this. And it was completed on May 10th, the day after the Lemuria on 5/9, and the next day was the Lemuria celebrations on 5/9, 511 and 513, and for this to be on 510, 51, that number 51 is a massive portal number within this mathematics system here. So your Lemuria on 5-9, your 5-9 Lemuria, 5 hours and 90 minutes equals 6:30 in time. Your Indian move back to 1830. 1830 military time equals 6:30. The date 6:30 equals 181 days, like 181 days equaling 5 months and 28 days. Your fugitive step back to 18. Your Indian move back to 1830 on 528. 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. Your resolution 181. Romulo says his twin brother Remo 181 on 5-9. The Lemuria in 44 BC when 5 hours and 90 minutes equals 6:30 in time. Colonization codes. Colonization codes. Yeah, that's how the date 510 connects with the 19 circles in the Flower of Life. And 55. How many indigenous people were genocided from European colonization? 55 million, like 550 days equaling 18 months and 1 day. So this just shows you how this connects with 181 and 1331, your 19 circles in the Flower of Life, and massive numbers of broken space-time symmetry. So let's get this one back over here. Okay. So, remember the whole Leo, the Lion, the 37 degrees in Freemasonry, and your Freemason Harry Truman endorsing Resolution 181, and your Grandmaster Mason Andrew Jackson signing the Indian move back to 1830, and all that shit. So, now we're getting into the most recent of colonization rituals, and yeah, let's take a little breather here. I'm gonna flip this thing around. See what time we're at. Let me check the battery life. Whoa, we're at 73%. And grab some water. You wanna grab a pen and paper. I don't know if you guys want to take notes, but we're gonna get into the colonization rituals pertaining to the Francis Scott Key Bridge, Kobe Bryant being unalived, going into the Year of the Snake with the 67 people that perished on runway 33, and the Grammy Awards on the 33rd day, the 67th Grammy Annual Awards, also followed by the 67th anniversary Daytona 500, Trump visiting the 48th state. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place, but I have so much organized, but now it's just getting more levels of organization in order here. But this right here, if you followed everything that I've shown you so far with this mathematics and the 37 degrees in Freemasonry, keeping this chart in mind, and the equation of 61 times 3 equaling 183, and 37 times 3 equals 101, and 1830 military time equals 1110 minutes, proving this calculation correct, and 61 minutes equaling 101 in time, and these dates of massive colonization happening at these places, and they're separated by this Freemason colonization number, using the Flower of Life as a PowerPoint. These are some more dates that we're going to get into of all the fires and the Pope opening up the 5 portal doors and the Olympic ceremony mocking the Last Supper painting. We're going to get into all of that shit. I'm going to try to squeeze all of that into this video here while kind of explaining the thoughts of Jed Pillars simultaneously. But I just want to want to take a little journey with Spirit of Cannabis here. And I'm going over the dark today because I'm in a pretty dark place today. I'm just about out of money and just about out of patience, and I've been shadow banned. My TikTok's been permanently taken down, and I can't get into 2 of my Instagram accounts, and yeah, my algorithm is nothing. I have no assets. This Jeep, I stopped paying this thing back last year, back in March. Yeah, I have been not paying this thing, and yeah, I owed like 20 something grand on this thing and stopped paying it completely. I stopped paying insurance. I was being the change that I wanted to see in the world. It's like I'm not paying anything except for my phone bill, gas, food, and a little bit of plant medicine here, and very moderately, just like a hit or 2 here and there, just to like feel a little amplification of what already exists. And I'm just going on a little journey with getting down to plant medicine vibration level. And all this work I've done smoking. So don't tell me, oh, it ruins your memory and it makes you stupid. It can make people way stupid. But if the person is hungry to learn some new knowledge, nothing is going to stop them. So, yeah, let's get into the Black Mamba and the Year of the Snake. From the date that the Year of the Snake happened, the first day of the Year of the Snake on 129, we're talking about the Year of the Snake and the Black Mamba being unalived on 126 of 2020. From 126 of 2020, the Black Mamba being unalived to the first day of the Year of the Snake on 129 of 2025 equals 1,830 days. Like the Indian Removal Act of 1830. Flip this shit around here. This shit is so ridiculous, and watch how these numbers just keep going. This shit just keeps going. So on this day on 129, the Year of the Snake, American Eagle flight from Kansas collided with the helicopter, and that was over runway 33, and 67 people perished, right? And that was 1,830 days from the Black Mamba being unalived in a helicopter. Black Mamba, the Year of the Snake. Now watch this shit. This equals 60 weeks and 3 days, like the date 603. The date 603 equals 154 days. The Jesuits were founded in 1540. All right, now runway 33 and 67 people perishing in 1830. Remember this shit, because 1830 in military time converts to 630, like 603, and 1830 minutes equal 1830 military time converts to 1110 minutes, like 670 minutes equaling 1110 in time. The Christ was crucified on the date 4-3 at age 33 and 33 AD, when the date 4-3 equals 3 months and 3 days. And on my calendar cipher system, 4-3 lines up with 67 hertz. Like runway 33 and 67 people perishing 1,830 days after Kobe Bryant was unalived. And this is fucking nothing. 67 minutes equals 107 in time when Gaza genocide began on 10/7, and whenever Palisades was lit on fire. Fucking very interesting. And not only that, from the date 67 people perished on over runway 33, the first day of the year of the snake, to the 33rd day of the year on 2/2, the 67th annual Grammy Awards ceremony, meaning fucking ritual, equaling 5 days, equaling 1.37% of a year, when the 33rd prime equals 137. And on my calendar cipher, these numbers just keep fractaling. 5-9 Lemuria, 5 hours and 90 minutes equals 6:30 in time. The date 303 equals 63 days. 3:30 equals 63 hertz. The date 6-7 equals 330 hertz. So these numbers just keep fractaling through the calendar system, which, yeah, the story of the Lemuria. Romo says his twin brother Remo, 181 and 5944 BC. It's a colonization code. 44 BC represents 44 hertz. So this is in 5-9, May 9th. Now watch this shit. Just using time. This thing tells you what it is right off the bat. 5 hours and 90 minutes. 590 minutes equals 950 in time, when the date 4-4 equals 95 days, like 44 BC, 5-9. And 5 hours and 90 minutes equals 6:30 in time, when the date 6:30 equals 181 days. And then that links with all this other shit. Precisely. 5 hours and 90 minutes equals 6:30 in time, when 1830 in military time converts to 6:30. Resolution 181, your Indian removed to 1830. So yeah, from the Black Mamba being unalived in 2020 on 1/26 to the first day of the year of the snake, Mamba, snake, equaling 1,830 days, like the Indian Removal Act of 1830, signed into law by your Grand Master Mason, President Andrew Jackson, and your 37 degrees in Freemasonry, mirrored and flipped, is Leo, equaling 037, 61 circles in the flower of life. Leo holds the flower of life when 370 minutes equals 6:10 in time, and 61 minutes equaling 101, and 37 degrees in Freemasonry times 3 equaling 111, 61 times 3 equals 183, 1830 equals 110 minutes, like the days of the dead on 11-1, and your Indian Removal Act of 1830. Your 141st prime equals 811, from 141 to 811 in time equals 6:30. Go around another 12 hours, it equals 1830. It equals 18.5 hours, equaling 1110 minutes. Like the days of the dead on 11-1. Like your Indian Removal Act to 1830. And your Fugitive Slave Act to 1850. Colonization out the ass. And I'm not fucking done. 67 minutes equals 107, like the genocide in Gaza on 10/7 from Resolution 181. And from the date that Kobe Bryant was unalived in the helicopter on 1/26 of 2020 to the first day of the year of the snake on 1/29. Oh, I've already said that one, sorry. I've already said that one too. Oh, I combined it under that one sheet. So, yeah, the Daytona 500 was on 2/16, the 67th annual Daytona 500. So I want you folks to notice how they're using these same numbers. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. 126, 216. Your Abraham Lincoln's mass record hangings on 1/2/26, 12/26. Kobe Bryant was unalived on 1/26. Your Daytona 500 on 2/16. 1/29, your first day of the year of the snake. Flip that upside down. It's a 6/21. And that mirrors 126, sneaky little fucking bastards. So from the date that Kobe Bryant was unalived on 126 of 2020 to the day after the day after the Daytona 500 on 6/7 of the 67th anniversary, just the day after equals 1,850 days, like the fugitive slave act of 1850. And for Abraham Lincoln's gematria to equal 305, and then 185 minutes equaling 305 in time. And President Trump was at the Daytona 500, and he recently said that he's going to eliminate the penny. And who's on the penny? Abraham Lincoln, and he's on the $5 bill. And 5 days separates the 33rd day, 67th annual award. Grammy Awards on the 33rd day separates the first day of the year of the snake with 5 days, and that equals 1.37% of the year, including your 33rd prime, 137. And let's see. Yeah, I always forget that one. 183 minutes converts to 303 in time. The shit, it just keeps intertwining, and these numbers, they just keep intertwining, and I'm not done. Because 216, the day of the Daytona 500, 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. 6 to the third power equals 216. I just put a 0 in there. So like 6-3, the day 6-3 equals 154 days, like the Jesuits founded in 1540. The date 630 equals 181 days, like Resolution 181, and like Romo saying his twin brother Remo, 181, colonization, fall of the Roman Republic, the rise of the Roman Empire. So let's see, 47 degrees in Freemasonry, your 47th day is 216, right? Your 47th President Trump was at the Daytona 500 on the 47th day. Oh, how neat, huh? So, your O-scars, that's the womb, and this represents the scars that are on the womb. Because whenever Julius Caesar was assassinated, that was in 44 BC, and 44 Hertz, that's where they draw that masculine line, and the male is controlling what time. He's just controlling the whole ceremonial ritual of pulling that baby out and documenting that shit ceremonially, Freemasonly. Because this is the land. Inherit the land. This is the O, and when that seed gets planted in there, you put the WE on there. It's like, you owe me a baby, because this word means oh. I just planted my seed in you. But yeah, when Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC, what did Caesar do? He brought back the crown to Cleopatra in Egypt. The last feminine leader was Cleopatra, and it was because of Julius Caesar, and he was assassinated in 44 BC, and then who took over? Augustus. Octavian Augustus, like the second octave of 44 BC, or 44 Hertz being 88, and October and being the 8th month, or octave or the next octave above 44 Hertz is 88 Hertz, and octagon has 8 sides, and Augustus, that's the 8th month. That's what I was trying to say. August is the 8th month. So it's telling you it's the next octave. It's a fucking allegory. And he took over the Holy Roman Empire, which we all know who runs the Holy Roman Empire. And they bought the U.S. a long time ago. So this O-scars ritual being on... What was I trying to say here? I'm having a hard time reading through my phone. I need to just actually look at this sheet. I apologize. So yeah, Julius Caesar being assassinated in 44 BC, this is when the Roman Republic falls and the empire begins, just like Romo saying his twin brother Remo, 181 in 44 BC. The Roman Republic falls and the empire begins. They're building the frequency, the simulation, with 44 Hertz. The calendar system starts with 1-1. Janus, the god of doorways, 1-1. Add a 0 to that. It's 110 Hertz, your root harmonic of 44 Hertz in the second octave. So our count, every new year, we're celebrating. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. It's 1-1. We're celebrating all the fucking energy that's being harvested from that celebrating of the 44 Hertz start of the bullshit New Year. It's fucking hilarious. So anyways, the 97th anniversary Oscars. 97 minutes equals 137 in time, like your 33rd prime 137. Oh, what a fucking surprise. Now, this was on 3-2. Let me see. Let's see here. Your Missouri Compromise of 1820, 182 minutes equals 302 in time. This was on March 2nd. So this is like commemorating the Missouri Compromise of 1820, as far as I'm concerned. So from the day of the first year of the snake on 129, 67 people perished on runway 33, to the 3-2 Oscars ceremony equals 33 days. Like the 97th anniversary Oscars, 97 minutes equals 137 in time, and your 33rd prime equals 137. You got 33 twice. And let's see, from the 162-year anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging on 12/26 of 2024 to 3-2 of 2025 equals 67 days. Like the Christ being crucified on 4-3 equaling 67 hertz at age 33 and 33 AD, when the month 4-3 equals 3 months and 3 days. Like 33 days separating 67 people perishing and over runway 33 on the year of the snake. Yeah, this code just keeps fucking going. And this is a ceremony. See their little Freemason symbol that they had back in their background here? Your 33rd degree Freemason on 302, 182 minutes equals 302 in time, like your Missouri Compromise of 1820. And 311 was your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution of 1861, and your Jewish Colonization Association on 9/11 of 1891, when 9/11 minutes equals 311 in time, and IXXI in Roman numerals equals 9/11, your Order of the Jesuits symbol. Put two of those together and you get your IXXI. And 9/11 minutes equaling 311 in time, and 9/11 the date plus 181 days equals the date 311, when the date 311 equals 182 days after 9/11, like your Missouri Compromise of 1820. Victories for Jesuit slaveholders, like your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 3/11 of 1861. A victory for Jesuit slaveholders. Okay. Anything else here? Yeah, so March 1st, 301 and 302 and 303, the date 303, 183 minutes equals 303 in time, like your Indian reports at 1830. 302 lining up with the Missouri Compromise, and the date 301, 181 minutes equaling 301 in time, like your Resolution 181. And Romo sang his twin brother Remo when the name March comes from Martius, the first month of the earliest Roman calendar. It was named after Mars, the Roman god of war, an ancestor of the Roman people through his sons Romulus and Remus, aka Romo and Remo. So, the Oscars, that's the O, and that's the scar, that's a masculine. The masculine slays the feminine. Straight up masculine ritual. The Freemason compass is the tool that draws the circle, claiming all creation. Your allopathic medicine, your alphabet, your language. The solfeggio tone La equals note A. This lady just really park her car and leave her dog in the car to bark. Seriously, Matrix, well played. So, this Freemason compass that we see here, let's analyze this thing and look a bit deeper, because the English language in the alphabet is derived from Gothic, Norfolk, Anglo-Saxon, Germanic runes. And until people start studying that shit and frequency and mathematics and the Gregorian calendar system, you guys are going to be chasing loopholes and rabbit holes that take you nowhere, like the Earth being flat and stupid shit like that. So, if the Earth was flat, then that would imply that there is no circle and there is no divine feminine. So, this 47 degree Freemason, this number 47, is a very important number in mathematics pertaining to the cycles of time. So, your summer solstice, the sun is shining over the Tropic of Capricorn, and on summer solstice, the sun is shining over the Tropic of Cancer, and the Earth is tilting at 23.5 degrees for the longest day of sunshine, right? And on winter solstice, the longest day of darkness, the Earth is tilting completely the opposite direction at 23.5 degrees, in the complete opposite direction to where the sun is shining over the Tropic of Capricorn, and that's why we have seasons. That's why we've always had seasons, like your fall, your winter, your summer, your spring, and all that shit. So 23.5 degrees plus 23.5 degrees the opposite direction equals 47 degrees, right? So this masculine, the L, the language, it comes from observing the reality, and it's to its most beginning stage. If you could imagine yourself being here on Earth and you're on flat ground, and this is the panoramic view of the horizon. This is the east horizon. This is the eastern horizon where the sun rises. And if you're looking straight up when the sun is directly above you, and this is the western horizon where the sun sets. So this is a panoramic view of the sunrise, right? And on summer solstice, the longest day of sunlight, that's when the sun transits the sign of Cancer, 69, sitting at 90 degrees square. This is a 90-degree square. L. So 621, your longest day of sunlight, divided by the position of Cancer, 90 degrees square, equals the sigil symbol of Cancer, 6.9. When 690 minus 69 equals 621 summer solstice, equaling 172 to 173 days depending on leap year. 172 plus 173 equals 345, your Pythagorean 345 right triangle that corresponds with your 90-degree right triangle. When 345 plus 345, 345 plus 345 equals 690. Round and round we go. So this is L, your 90 degrees, and this is when the sun is above you. The rays are shaped like an A. A rays. Your Freemason compass and your Freemason square. This is where this comes from. And the shunning of vitamin D, of Ray, 9 hertz, Remo gets slayed, the Republic falls. This is your masculine right here. This is the horizon, and this is your 90-degree square that squares the circle. This is your L, and this is the X. These two lines create the X. Your daggers of the dawn. Your rune for X, daggers, decapitates the head of the feminine god, vitamin D. So whenever the sun rises and gets to this 90-degree point here, everything mirrors and flips, and that's why it's a 6 and a 9. If it was just a 9 mirroring a 9, it'd just be a backwards 9, but it's a 6 mirrored and flipped. And what's the 9th note? Vitamin D, sun rays. When this thing first comes up, it literally is the letter D. This is your Egyptian hieroglyph for bread. Your bicarbonate electrolyte causes bread to rise. This is your inner light, your inner bread, your inner dough. And flip that D on its backside. There's your D, and the rays that are shining When this thing rises and it's a full circle, the rays that are reflecting off the Earth are in the shape of a V. So you have your O, V rays that start off the frequency. And then when you get up here, the rays are in the shape of an A, and then you have your 90-degree square masculine where everything mirrors and flips. And how do I prove that everything mirrors and flips? So tonight, or whenever the fuck you feel like, go outside and watch the stars rise from the eastern horizon and face the south. So whenever you look to your right, the western horizon is where the stars are setting, right? So whenever you look straight up in the sky, I'd pick a constellation that's about right here before it gets to this 90-degree mark where it's directly above you. So pick a constellation like Scorpio or Cancer or whatever, and focus on the stars that are on the right and on the top of the constellation, on the right and on the top of this constellation. Focus on those, and when they pass this 90-degree mark, it's a 90-degree mark in the ether. Once they pass over this, everything mirrors and flips. Everything that was on the right is now on the left. Everything that was on the top is now on the bottom. And that's why the 6 mirrors the 9 at this 90-degree masculine in the ether. This 9 is a 90-degree masculine. It's a copycat of the original 9. Your 6th note in music, La, representing the note A. La, L, A, 6th note. The copycat of the original 9, of the original O, V rays, rather than the A rays. Your male war god that sits at 0 degrees, circle, sits at the very beginning of the zodiac wheel, being a circle. Male war god, he's in the woman's ovaries. O, V, Aries. His symbol is the woman's ovaries. And for a male war god to be representing that many circles, like Odin representing the V and the X connected, inheriting the land being the circle, and that being our minds and our 9 solfegial tones within our inner temple. So this dagger of the dawn here, this X, the Daggers rune being an X, and the Pope wearing his fish hat. Whenever this dagger decapitates 9 hertz right here, and this 9 hertz is going into the underworld where the fish and the crab live. Now this 6 hertz this is where everything mirrors and flips, and that's what they've done with the language. The language, L, A, and the alphabet. The A and the L for the alphabet, and the L and the A for language. Your solfegial tone, La, is the 6th note, mirroring and copycatting the original creator. And basically, we're worshiping the creation rather than the creator. So that lets you see where the L, like, that gives so much more power to the L. And whenever you flip L, mirror and flip it, it's a 7. Your G in Freemasonry, that's the 7th letter. The letter, it's an envelope, and it has here 7, your square on there. So your 7th mitotic cell division equals 128. That's when the cells split into twins. 1 plus 2 plus 8 equals L11. Your L11th letter, K, and your 3rd letter, C, like 311. The runes for that equal L. Your Anglo-Saxon rune, flip it on its backside. It's an envelope. It's a letter. See all the sneaky trickery that's going on here? 311. 9:11 minutes equals 3:11 in time. 5:11 in time equals 3:11. The Lemuria mocking the dead on 5:11. Your Order of the Jesuits, IXXI equals 9:11. That creates the cube right there. Your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 3:11. Your Colonization Association on 9/11. So 47 degrees in Freemasonry. When we dissect pi, or when we dissect the circle being 432 hertz, that represents 9 hertz. When we divide that by the golden angle, 137.5, or a fallen angel, that equals pi, 3.14. Let's take a piece of the pie and put it into the calendar. The date 314 equals 73 days, equaling 47 hertz in my calendar set for system, when 47 degrees in Freemasonry. 470 minutes equals 7:50 in time, when 7:30 in time equals 7.5 hours. L, mirrored and flipped, equals 73. And 73 lines up with 47 here at pi. And this thing just keeps on, it just keeps on going and going and going. So, from the 47th president visiting the 47th state on 10/31, he visited Albuquerque, New Mexico from the date, let's see, oh, that's supposed to be two. I wrote from and from. Or let's see, for the 47th president visiting the 47th state on 10/31 to the date. Or, yeah, oh, maybe I did write that right. Let's try and read this again. That just caught me a little off guard. So, let's keep in mind that 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. 6 to the third power equals 216. That's the date of the Daytona 500. 6-3, the date equals 154 days, like the Jesuits founded in 1540. Yeah, there we go. So now, the 47th president visiting the 47th state on 10/31 to 2/16, the 47th day of the year, equals 15 weeks and 4 days, like the Jesuits founded in 1540. Jeez. You gotta be fucking kidding me. The 47th president visiting the 47th state on 10/31, equaling 305 days, like Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging on, or like the Abraham Lincoln being on Mount Rushmore, and his gematria being 305, and yeah, that equals 305 days, and 185 minutes equals 305 in time, like your fugitive set back to 1850. So between the Jesuits being founded and your fugitive set back to 1850, connecting with Abraham Lincoln, and he said that he's eliminating the penny when he was at the Daytona 500, and that was the 47th day. Like, shit is... Who has time to think all this shit up and write this stupid script? From the 47th president visiting the 47th state on the 305th day of the year, because it was a leap year, like Abraham Lincoln's gematria equaling 305 and 185 minutes equaling 305 in time. Your fugitive slave back to 1850. He had the mass record hanging. Fugitive slave back to 1850. The hangman's tree. The address being 305. Jeez. In Placerville, aka Hangtown, because they hung 5 people from the same tree, and the town used to be called Hangtown. So yeah, from the 47th president visiting the 47th state on the 305th day of the year, a tribute to Abraham Lincoln, to 2/16, the Daytona 500, the 67th annual anniversary, equaling 15 weeks and 4 days. 163 equals 154 days, like the Jesuits founded in 1540. The 67th annual Daytona 500 on the 47th day on 2/16, when 6 times 6 equals 2/16. 6 times 6 to the third power equals 2/16. The date 6-3 equals 154 days, like the Jesuits founded in 1540. I mean, from the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper painting on 7/26. The Last Supper painting measures 181 inches. The Last Supper was on 4/2. The 42nd prime equals 181, right? And 6:30 equals 181 days, and the date 6/3 equals 154 days, like the Jesuits founded in 1540. Watch this shit. From the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper, to the opening of the second door on the 162-year anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging on 12/26, opened by the first Jesuit Pope, equaling 154 fucking days. Abraham's mass record hanging of 38 men. The date 38 equals 67 days. Christ being crucified on 4-3 equaling 67 hertz, and 670 minutes equals 11:10 in time, like 1830, and military time equals 1110 minutes, like the Indian move to 1830. 183 minutes equals 303 in time. Round and round we go in this giant altered frequency colonization time loop. And rituals galore here. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. This shit's annoying. Yeah, that's just a repeat, basically, of the same thing. Some of these I just wrote twice. Some of them I just wrote 3 times. I think if I had another decode on here, actually, from the 47th President Trump visiting the 47th state, New Mexico, on 10/31, equaling 305 days, plus 1 month and 26 days, equaling 80,640 minutes, equals the 162nd anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's massacre and hanging of 38 men. And that day equals 8640 hours. 12/26, the date equals 8640 hours. The highest point of the historical Lincoln Highway between Laramie and Cheyenne equals 8640 feet. And the diameter of the sun equals, there it is, the diameter of the sun equals 864,000 miles in diameter. The highest point of the historical Lincoln Highway, 8640 feet, like the diameter of the sun, like his mass record hanging, being on 12/26, equaling 8640 hours, and from the 47th president visiting the 47th state on 10/31, whenever Mount Rushmore was completed on the 305th day of the year, and how that connects with Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, that shit's so annoying. 1 month and 26 days. 126. That's when Kobe Bryant was unalive. It was on 126, and that mirrors 6/21, your summer solstice, your longest day of sunlight. This is the diameter of the sun. So they like to use this whole sun code, the whole Indian move up to 1830. If you were to observe the sun from the longest day of sunlight, 6/21, summer solstice, to winter solstice, your longest day of nighttime, it equals 183 days. And this is when you're observing the sun. So your Massachusetts legislator, Horace Mann, he's the one that advocated for all the free public schools in the 1830s. Not to be mistaken with Horus the Falcon Sun God. In the 1830s, and if you're observing the sun from the longest day of sunlight to the longest day of darkness, it's 183 days, and we've seen how much they've used that number 183 in so many different ways with this whole thing. So, yeah, your Indian move up to 1830, and how it connects with the fugitive say back to 1850, and the days of the dead on 11/1, 1830 military time equals 1110 minutes, equaling 18.5 hours. Like your fugitive slave back to 1850, and your days of the dead on 11/1. And Abraham Lincoln's gematria equaling 305 when 185 minutes equals 305 in time. And that's the date that Trump was visiting the 47th state, the 47th president. Isn't that neat? And this guy, he's on the Balfour Declaration coin. See that? The Balfour Declaration promised Palestine to Israel back in 1917 on 11/2. Lionel Walter Rothschild was promised Palestine to Israel, and his father was a Freemason, Nathaniel Rothschild, and he was made baron by Queen Victoria, along with Moses Montefiore, Moses Montefiore was the brother-in-law of Nathaniel Rothschild, and that's who funded the Battle of Waterloo, and Jacob Rothschild was funding the Napoleon side, and they cut off funding for Napoleon because they knew they'd make more money if the British won, and yeah, they let the British win, and both these guys were Freemason. They funded the Suez Canal, and they also gave huge chunks of money to British slaveholders whenever things were toning down during the 1830s. It's like around 1833, I think. That's whenever him and Moses Montefiore were compensating slaveholders in Britain. And you guys can research all that shit yourselves. And Moses Montefiore, you can also research that in the 1860s, he already had settlements. He already had settlements, colonization settlements in Palestine for the Jewish people. And there's nothing wrong with that, but the stories that I hear of the Palestinian people taking these people in peacefully, and then whenever they turn their backs, they're stealing their homes, and this has been going on for a long time since the British decided to terminate the mandate in 1947. They had already formed an army, an armed paramilitary group trained and created to fight side by side with the British in World War II. So they already had an army established from the time of British taking over Ottoman and Palestine in 1917, whenever they promised Palestine to Israel, to Lord Lionel Walter Rothschild, and his grandfather being Nathaniel Rothschild, who was him and Moses Montefiore were brother-in-law. He married his sister, and they were both made barren by Queen Victoria, who was married to her first cousin Prince Albert. And yeah, the Prussians helped them with the Battle of Waterloo, but what really won that war was the information system that the Rothschilds had. They were invested in the trains. They had all the mail system going through the train, and the information that was, they were getting information fast, like 2 months, 1 to 2 months ahead before anybody else was getting information. So they basically had a fucking time machine. And yeah, Queen Victoria's great granddaughter was the late Queen Elizabeth, and her financial advisor was Sir Evelyn de Rothschild. And Lionel Walter Rothschild, he never had any kids, so his Balfour Declaration and his baron status passed down to Victor Rothschild, his nephew. And Victor Rothschild, his son, was the late Jacob Rothschild that looked like Burns from The Simpsons. And he was all up in Blackstone and Invitation Homes, and they were buying up all the homes back in 2019. And yeah, they're the reasons why I had to pay more rent, and why I eventually got evicted and wasn't able to ever buy a house whenever I had finally saved up enough money in 2020. But yeah, who owns Blackstone and Invitation Homes? Their top shareholder being BlackRock. And who owns BlackRock? Warren Buffett. And Merrill Lynch. Who owns Merrill Lynch? Bank of America. Who owns Bank of America? Berkshire Hathaway. Founded in 1839, just 3 years after the Indian Removal Act of 1830, and 11 years before the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, like 9/11. And Berkshire Hathaway, they were a textile company creating fabrics, and most of their fabrics were going to Britain, back to Europe. And what were they making all those fabrics out of? Cotton. And where were they getting all that cotton from? Cotton plantations from all the slave masters that were running these companies. And that's where Berkshire Hathaway is founded from. Massive genocide and slavery from the Indian Removal Act of 1830, from the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. Merrill Lynch, Berkshire Hathaway, Bank of America, Invitation Homes, Blackstone, BlackRock, Vanguard, all those companies go back to Berkshire Hathaway and the cotton plantations, slave masters, and Nathan Rothschild, Moses Montefiore owning settlements in Palestine in 1860. And then who started the Jewish Colonization Association on 9/11 of 1891? That would be Maurice Baron Maurice de Hirsch and his father was the banker of a Bavarian king, and he was made into baron status, and that baron status passed down to Maurice de Hirsch, a Bavarian philanthropist. And Bavaria, Germany, your Illuminati were founded, your Bavarian Illuminati founded on 501 in 1776, like 37 degrees in Freemasonry times 48 equaling 1776. You got to get this video. Yeah, so your Bavarian philanthropist, Maurice de Hirsch, founding the Jewish Colonization Association on 9/11 of 1891, that was taken over by Edmund Rothschild and turned into the Anglo-Palestine Bank. And look up Edmund Rothschild's letter to the League of Nations. He writes a letter to the League of Nations saying that we need to put our foot down on these Arabs, and we can't create we can't get rid of the wandering Jew without the creation of the wandering Arab. And this is literally on Edmund Rothschild's Wikipedia. You can look up his Wikipedia and find that exact quote to his letter to the League of Nations, where he says that. And he took over the Colonization Association of 1891 on 9/11, and he already had settlements in Ottoman Palestine in 1882. 1882, Edmund Rothschild already had colonization settlements for his Jewish people. They were from the Turkish Khazarian Ashkenazi lineage, and Ash means dead, the remains of the dead. Ki is your chi, like your prana, like your 55 hertz, like your 528 hertz. And Nazi is pretty much self-explanatory, basically tying a knot into your chi and hacking into the L11th Fibonacci with L. Right? Your L mirrored and flipped equals 73. Trump is the 45th and 47th president. 450 minutes equals 7:30 in time. When 470 minutes equals 7:50 in time. 73 minutes equals 1:13 in time, and 75 minutes equals 1:15 in time. The elections in 2020 were on 11:3. The elections in 2025 were in 2024 were on 11:5. Like 75 minutes equaling 1:15 in time. 73 mirrored and flipped is L, and 730 minutes equals 7:50 in time, or 7:30 in time equals 7.5 hours. 75 minutes equals 1:15 in time, like the L actions on 11:5. L mirrored and flipped is 73. You guys catching that? Crafty poll addicts, politicians. So yeah, the 47th president, the gematria for Trump equals 470. He's on the Balfour Declaration coin, and the Balfour Declaration set up resolution 181 on 11/29, when 47 days equals 11:29 hours, and like resolution 181, established on 11/29 by the UN, splitting Palestine into two states, creating Israel. When 131 days later, the UN created. When 131 days later, on 4/7, the UN created the WHO after resolution 181. And 131 minutes equals 211 in time, like your 47th prime, 211. 47th prime, 211, when 2 months and 11 days equals the date 3/11, the date that the WHO declared COVID-19. Your 47th prime equals 211. 211 mirrors 11/2, like your Balfour Declaration, issued on 11/2, and that was written up by Chaim Weizmann, who would later become, he was a biochemist, who would later become president of Israel after its creation, after resolution 181. Biochemist. The WHO declared COVID-19 on 3/11, connecting with all this. See that? So your Balfour Declaration was issued on 11/2. 11/2 mirrors 211. Your 47th prime equals 211. 2 months and 11 days equals 3/11. When the WHO declared COVID, that's biochemistry, biochemist who would later become president of Israel after Resolution 181. I mean, you can't make this shit up, kids. Trump was born on 6/14, equaling 165 days, equaling 3960 hours, like your root chakra, 396 hertz. 165 days divided by 5-fold Fibonacci symmetry equals 33. 33 lines up with 396 hertz. Your 33rd prime, 137. Your 47 degrees in Freemasonry plus 90 degrees in Freemasonry equals 137. Your 47th president is on the Balfour Declaration coin, and that was issued in 2017. The actual Balfour Declaration was on 11/2. When 11/2 mirrors 211, like your 47th prime, 211. 47th president. And all of this shit. Your pole, ice. Your masculine. So yeah, whenever I was here in Coloma, Placerville, man's tree, where James Marshall panned the first gold, the first jail was created in 1850 because of James Marshall panning the first gold. And the sheriff's office, they just had their anniversary, the 175th anniversary on February 18th, 1850, like the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, right? And that equals 49 days. The date 49 equals 73 hertz equals 99 days. Your L mirrored and flipped is 73, right? These numbers, 128, the number 128, 218, 182, 128, your 7th Matic cell division equaling 128 hertz, 182 days after 9/11, your Missouri Compromise of 1820. So all of these lining up with 99 hertz. 812 lines up with 990 hertz. 49 lining up with 99 days, and that links up with 218 equaling 49 days. 128 equaling 139 for 9/11. 199 minutes equaling 139 time. A lot of interesting trickery that goes on through this colonizer calendar. So I was at their actual office, not even 5 minutes away from Hangman's Tree, and their address being 471. It's the coroner's office. It's a Masonic center. It's Placerville, aka Hangtown. It's the sheriff's office. Address being 471 when 4 hours and 71 minutes equals 5:11 in time. The Lemuria, 5:11, 37 degrees in Freemasonry. 3 hours and 70 minutes equals 4:10 in time when 101 plus 4 months and 10 days equals the date 5:11. 44 BC, 181 colonization stories. When the order of the Jesuits, IXXI equals 9:11, and 9:11 minutes equals 3:11 in time, and 5:11 in time equals 3:11 minutes. Colonization, 5:11, 9/11, the order of the Jesuits, they're colonizers, and 9/11, that's the date that the Colonization Association was created, taken over by Edmund Rothschild, and 3/11, the adoption of the Confederate States Constitution, a victory for Jesuit slaveholders, and colonization. Like, this is all about the gold. James Marshall panned the first gold in Sutter's Mill, Coloma. Marshall, they built the first jail there. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. They built the first jail in 1850, and the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. 185 minutes equals 3:05 in time, and colonization, kids. So we're talking about the pole, the masculine. The Gothic Norfolk Anglo-Saxon rune for ice is a straight line. It says the letter I, but I just see a masculine pole. And for it to mean ice, and for this to be a pole, and to mean blindness and illusion, deceit, betrayal, stealth, ambush, plots, egomania, and whenever the elimination of 55 million indigenous people because of European colonization created a little ice age, it just makes me think that that ice age was all about the ice age that's happening right now because of the 47th president passing laws that's sending people, rejecting people, 181ing people, rejection ritual style, off the lands. And your pull and your ice creates that word ice, the pull ice, masculine, and yeah, the little ice age, they basically gave this away. 55 million, huh? 550 days equals 18 months and 1 day. Like 181, and 181 days equals 5 years. Or 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like 528 Hertz, lined up with 55 on my path to Jed Pillar calendar cipher system. And to continue the 128, the 281, 821, 1028, these numbers all lining up with 99 Hertz, 821, mirrors 128, and that lines up with 999 Hertz. The date 128 equals 139 days after 9/11, 199 minutes equals 139 in time, the ninth harmonic. So the massive plagiarization going on of the 9 Hertz divine feminine is literally off the charts. L Evan equals an 11. 11 days equals 3.01% of the year. 181 minutes equals 301 in time. L mirrored and flipped is a 73. The date 7/3 equals 59 Hertz, equaling 181 days, like the Lemuria on 5/9. Romo says his twin brother Remo, 181. The date 7/3 equals 185 days on leap year, like the fugitive fly back to 1850. The date 7/30 equals 154 days remain, like the Jesuits founded in 1540. So 5/9 the Lemuria, 181, 44 BC, it's a colonization code. 5 hours and 90 minutes equals 6:30 in time. The date 6:30 equals 181 days. 590 minutes equals 9:50 in time, when the date 44 equals 95 days, like the Lemuria on 5/9, 181, 44 BC. The Jesuits were founded on 9/27, equaling 95 days remain, like 590 minutes equaling 9:50 in time. The Illuminati were founded on 5/01, equaling 95 Hertz in my calendar cipher system, when 5/01 in time equals 301 minutes, and 181 minutes equals 301 in time, and 5/01 equals 121 days, and L Evan times L Evan equals 121, and L mirrored and flipped is a 73, and 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. The Lemuria, or the Illuminati, founded on 5/01. Yeah, this just goes through the colonization code. The L mirrored and flipped is a 7. Your seventh meiotic cell division is 128. That's when the cells split into twins. 128, 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals 229. Alessandro Farnesi's birthday. He's the one that approved the Jesuit order colonization. 101 plus 128 days equals 5/9 Lemuria. 181, 44 BC, colonization. 101 plus 59 days equals 301. 181 minutes equals 301 in time. And 301 days equals the date 1028, concluding with 101 plus 10 months and 28 days equals 1129. The date that resolution 181 was established. Colonization, colonization, colonization. L. Speaking of L eats, and L Evan, here's Elon Musk. And he's been throwing all sorts of colonization gang signs on 47th president inauguration days. Yeah, this guy was throwing the Roman salute, or the Nazi salute, in my opinion. And Elon's birthday is on 6/28. That equals 5 months and 28 days. Like 181 days equaling 5 months and 28 days. L mirrored and flipped is 73. The date 7/3 equals 181 days remain. He has L Evan kids. L Evan days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. He was born on 6/28. 628 minutes equals 1028 in time, on the date 1028 equals 301 days. Like 101 plus 10 months and 28 days equaling 1129. Resolution 181. And I've seen this guy rubbing shoulders many a times with the new Hitler, Netanyahu. And this is Alessandro Farnese, Pope Paul III, he's the one that approved the Jesuit order. He was born on 229, 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals 229, his birthday, and that code just keeps going all the way up into the resolution 181, and without a hitch. It goes all up in there without a hitch. So now that you know that number of 128, how this is the 7th Matic cell division and all the colonization code that's happening within this number, the movie Leave the World Behind was a psyop, was a Hollywood psyop to the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsing. The cargo ship hit a pillar. So hitting the pillar should be a dead giveaway of the twins. Just like 9/11, the Twin Towers were twins. That happened on 9/11, and the North Tower collapsed at 10:28, like 128. So the movie Leave the World Behind, that was a psyops to this ritual because there was a cargo ship on the front of that movie, and the other cover showed a buck. So remember the buck, and the cargo ship obviously hit the pillar, and Leo, the white lion, is on the cargo ship in the movie. So it's talking about this Leo code, the colonization code. So remember, 101 plus 128 days equals 59 Lemuria. 101 plus 10 months and 28 days equals 1129. Resolution 181. And 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals Alessandro Farnese's birthday. So this number 128 is a massive colonization number. The movie Leave the World Behind, the theater release date was on 11/22, equaling 326 days. This happened on 3/26, equaling 59 hertz on my calendar cipher system, like the Lemuria on 59181. So they released this on Netflix on the date 12/8, December 8th, like 128. And the Francis Scott Key Bridge was hit on 3/26, equaling 59 hertz at 1:28 a.m. by the cargo ship 128 days before Francis Scott Key's birthday, 128 days after Biden's birthday. L.A. Law scored 128 points against the Bucks. That equals note A, the solfeggio tone, the Freemason compass, the Freemason square. Following the lunar eclipse on 10/28, the North Tower on 9/11 collapsed at 10/28. The cargo ship had a Singapore flag. I wrote that wrong because whenever you sing the note A in a poor frequency, it's La in 44 hertz. The geometry for bridge collapse equals 128. So the number 128 from the frequency of the flower of life equaling 128 hertz, your 7th Matic cell division equaling 128. L mirrored and flipped is a 7, your 7th Matic cell division equaling 128. When light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays. The flower of life frequency equals 128 hertz. 1 plus 2 plus 8 equals L11. So, knowing that the Last Supper was on 4/2, and the 42nd prime equals 181, and the Last Supper painting by Leonardo da Vinci measures 181 inches in height, and you know the power of 128 being the 7th Matic cell division and the frequency of the flower of life, when the cells split into twins, and 101 plus 128 days equals 59 Lemuria, 181, 44 BC, and that connects with Alessandro Farnese's birthday, the guy that created the Jesuit order. So watch this. From 128 to 726, when they're mocking the Last Supper on the opening ceremony of the Olympics in 2025, or in 2024, equals 181 days. From 726 of 2024 to 1129 of 2024, the 77-year anniversary of Resolution 181 on 1129 equals 18 weeks and 1 day, like 181, equaling 4 months and 4 days, like 59 Lemuria, 181, 44 BC, 4 months, 4 days. 77-year anniversary. The geometry for Christ being 77. And there is your colonization code. Continuing that, 101 plus 100, 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals 229. Alessandro Farnese's birthday, approved the Jesuit order. And you guys can read that for yourself. So this L, this cross, And the guy that's in the administration, Trump's administration, has this giant tattoo of this on his chest, the Jerusalem cross. When was that created? In the 1280s, of course. 1280 days equals 182 weeks. 311 equals 182 days after 9/11, like your Missouri Compromise of 1820. Your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 311. Victories for Jesuit slaveholders. Your colonization association on 9/11. When 9/11 minutes equals 311 in time, and your order of the Jesuits IXXI equals 9/11. The date 5/7 equals 128 days, like your frequency of the flower of life, your seventh mitotic cell division equaling 128. 1280 days equals 182 weeks, and 7/1, the date equals 570 hertz equaling 182 days, lining up with this fractal cycle. 311 equals 71 days equaling 182 days after 9/11. 171. Yeah. I have a decent connection here, so if this thing cuts out on me, I'm gonna be fucking super annoyed. So this massive so this massive colonization code of the 141 landmarker 141, 37 degrees in Freemasonry. Leo mirrored and flipped equaling 037, 370 minutes equaling 610 in time. Leo the lion holds the flower of life. There's 61 circles in the flower of life. 61 equals 101, 101 minutes equaling 141, and 1410 months separating 528 of 1830, when Grandmaster Mason Andrew Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act of 1830, to Resolution 181 established on 11/29 of 1947, endorsed by Grandmaster Mason President Harry Truman. Right? So, it's number 141. 14.1 hours equaling 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Or equaling 846 minutes equals 846 minutes equals 14.1 hours, excuse me. When 8 minutes and 46 seconds symbolizes this, and 141 in time equals 101 minutes. 101 minutes equals 141 in time. Gematria for I Can't Breathe. This is how long he was held down, was for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. George Floyd. And your 37 degrees in Freemasonry. Leo the lion holds his flower of life. And 37 degrees in Freemasonry. Leo the lion mirrored and flipped 037. Leo the lion holds the flower of life. 61 circles in the flower of life. 370 minutes equals 610 in time. 61 minutes equals 101. 101 minutes equals 141. And your 141st prime equaling 811 from 141 in time to 811 in time equals 1830, equaling 18.5 hours, equaling 1110 minutes, like the Indian Removal Act of 1830, your fugitive slaves of 1850, your days of the dead on 11/1. And all of this colonization that I've just got super organized, and 1410 months separating these two major genocidal colonization acts signed law by your Grandmaster Mason Andrew Jackson and endorsed by your other Grandmaster Mason President Harry Truman. 1410 months and 846 minutes equals 14.1 hours. like homie being held down for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and I can't breathe in gematria equals 101, and 101 minutes equals 141 in time. Just a fucking concern. And this little leprechaun, if a leprechaun took a shit, it would look just like this. And yeah, he bought the Twin Towers on 7/24. Silverstein Properties Chairman Larry Silverstein bought the Twin Towers for $3.2 billion on 7/24, 2001. That's the same day that Brigham Young arrived to Utah, number 2 of the Mormon Battalion. We're at Sutter's Mill, Coloma, when he panned the first gold. Yeah, Brigham Young, he was a board member of the Union Pacific Railroad Company. It cost $181 million to complete. And yeah, he arrived to Utah on 7/24, Pioneer Day, when 181 times 4 equals 7/24. Oh, clever. The Order of the Jesuits, IXXI equals 9/11. 9/11 plus 181 days equals 3/11. Your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 3/11, and your Jewish Colonization Association on 9/11. 9/11 minutes equals 3/11 in time. And L mirrored and flipped equals 73. The date 73 equals 181 days. 9/11 minus 181 equals 730. L mirrored and flipped equals 73. Yeah, I didn't just pull that out of my ass. There was a reason why. Because of the Order of the Jesuits, you know. So yeah, I mean, the Colonization Association created in 1891 on 9/11 plus 110 years precisely equals 9/11 of 2001. Never forget, right? Apparently everybody did. So this is your L11, your 110 hertz. That's your root harmonic of 44 hertz in the second octave. 44 hertz, your twins. This was opened on 4/4 of 1973. They opened the World Trade Center on 4/4 of 1973, like 44 hertz. 110 hertz, your root harmonic of 44 hertz in the second octave. And this happened. Flight 11 hit the twins, which they're 11, that were 110 stories tall, on 9/11, 110 years after this Colonization Association was created. And you guys should do some research on this little leprechaun and see where he's from. And it all makes sense when you learn about those people that were dancing. And yeah, I'm just going after the colonizers. If you're against colonization, then we're on the same team. If you're for this type of stuff, then I don't like you. So L mirrored and flipped equals 73. L11 times L11 equals 1210 in time, or equals 121. And L mirrored and flipped is 73, and 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. Your Illuminati were counted on 501 equaling 121 days. 501 in time equals 181 minutes, and or 501 in time equals 301 minutes, and 181 minutes equals 301 in time. But yeah, the date 3/11 lines up with 44 hertz on my calendar cipher system. 9/11 plus 181 days equals the date 3/11, equaling 44 hertz on the calendar cipher system. They opened this shit on 4/4. 9/11 minutes equals 3/11 in time. Order of the Jesuits, IXXI equals 9/11. 110 hertz, it's the root harmonic of 44 hertz in the second octave. The Twin Towers were 110 stories tall. They were hit by Flight 11 110 years precisely on the dot after this Colonization Association was created by Bavarian philanthropist Maurice de Hirsch. And your Illuminati, founded by your former Jesuit, your Bavarian Illuminati, founded by your former Jesuit, like the Jesuits, on 501, when 501 in time equals 301 minutes, and 181 minutes equals 301 in time. The date 501 equals 121 days, when L11 times L11 equals 121, and L mirrored and flipped is 73, and 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. I think I have all that written right here. This just goes over Elon Musk a little bit more. I don't really feel like reading about him. But ROMO, that's your positive out. REMO is your negative cathode in. And 101 equals 181. And it's proven in so many ways. Yeah, 661 circles in the flower of life, 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 1 day. L11, your pillars, your L11, 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181 minutes equaling 31 at a time. And from the Palestine land grab on 10/7 of 2023 to the Palisades land grab on 1/7 of 2025 equals 1 year, 3 months, and 1 day. And yeah, that number 131, 1331 in time converts to 131 and 91 minutes equals 131 in time. 19 circles in the flower of life. Where are we at? Yeah, 19 circles in the flower of life. 190 weeks equals 1331 days. 131 converts to 1331. 190 minutes equals 310 in time. The date 510 equals 131 days. 510 in time equals 310 minutes. So that the Illuminati found it on 5-1 can be written as 501 or 5-1. So that this is a number that connects with this massive cycles of time within major events, like your lunar or your winter equinox to your spring equinox, and your spring equinox or your spring equinox to your summer solstice, and your summer solstice to your autumn equinox. They're all separate, but they're all separated by these numbers: 91, 131, 310, and yeah, they literally separate the cycles of space-time pertaining to observing the sun and the seasons and shit, connected to frequency and the 19 circles of the flower of life, and all of this shit. It all connects. Yeah, this just lets you see how these numbers recycle through the calendar. Gaza Strip grab was on 10/7. 67 minutes equals 107 in time. Your Indian move up to 1830. 1830 equals 110 minutes. 670 minutes equals 1110 in time. Day 67 or 607 lines up with 330 hertz. 183 minutes equals 303 in time. 1830 converts to 630. The date 303 equals 63 days. 330 equals 63 hertz. See how this is all just like recycling itself? Christ was crucified on 4/3 equaling 67 hertz at age 33 and 33 AD when the date 4/3 equals 3 months and 3 days. Runway 33, 67 people perished. The 67th annual Grammy Awards on the 33rd day, being 5 days after the year of the snake, when 137th, the 33rd prime is 137, or 5 days equals 1.37% of the year, and the 33rd prime equals 137. So yeah, this fucking stupid frequency thing. Abraham Lincoln had the mass record hanging of 38 men when the date 3/8 equals 67 days. 3 hours and 80 minutes equals 420 in time. The date 420 equals 111 days on leap year, like 670 minutes equals 1110 in time. The Last Supper was on 4/2, and that equals 67 hertz on leap year. Round and round we go in this Jed Pillar calendar cipher system here. And yeah, so I'm concerned about this full moon lunar eclipse that's coming up here. From 19 of 2024, the full moon lunar eclipse, to the full moon lunar eclipse on 3/14 of 2025 equals 177 days. So from the full moon lunar eclipse on 5/5 to the full moon lunar eclipse on 10/28 equals 177 days. This is in 2023. This is also in 2023. From from the solar eclipse on 4/20 of 2024. This is actually 2023, buddy. 2024 to the solar eclipse on 10/14 of 2023 equals 177 days. So this number 177 separates solar eclipses from solar eclipses and lunar eclipses from lunar eclipses, and this goes back many. I've got sheets and lists of paper with that cycle. So the date 7/7 equals 177 days remain. The date 5/5, is that on here? The date 5/5 equals 17 weeks and 7 days, like 177. So this is lined up with our solar plexus chakra at 528 hertz. So like how we're getting things done within our solar plexus, that number 177 is a major number in solar events where things are fucking manifesting and happening. And that number 177 it separates solar eclipses from solar eclipses and lunar eclipses from lunar eclipses. So knowing that, from Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging on 12/26, the 162-year anniversary, to the full moon lunar eclipse on 3/14 of 2025 equals 2 months and 16 days, equaling 11 weeks in 1 day, like the Day of the Dead on 11/1. And 216, remember, it's the 47th day of the year, and 6th and 3rd power equals 216. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. The date 6/3 equals 154 days, like the Jesuits found in 1540. And the date 6/30 equals 181 days, like the Lemuria 181 and Resolution 181. So these numbers, this lunar eclipse full moon on 3/14 has me worried, because that's also the 73rd day of the year. L mirrored and flipped to 73, and it equals 47 hertz on the calendar cipher system. And 126 to 3/14 equals 47 days, equaling 1 month and 16 days. 1 month and 16 days equals 216. 47 days equals 216. 126, that's the anniversary of Kobe Bryant being unalived, to 3/14, equaling that shit with all the other charts that I talked about in this video. Yeah. 47 hertz lines up with summer solstice, 6/21, your longest day of sunlight. And yeah, 470 minutes equals 7:50 in time, and 7:30 in time equals 7.5 hours, linking 75 with 73 and 47. And yeah, this is Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging of 38 men. So they come up with these numbers for a reason, right? 42 days equals 211. Oh shit. 47 prime. Yeah, this shit is just fractaling. It fractals in a very strange manner, but it fractals. Watch. 38 men being hung. The date 3/8 equals 67 days. Christ was crucified on 4/3, equaling 67 hertz. And on the Last Supper was on 4/2, and that equals 67 hertz on leap year. And 4/20 equals 111 days, like 670 minutes, equaling 111 in time. 3/8 equaling 67 days, 3 hours and 80 minutes equaling 4/20 in time, when the date 4/20 on leap year equals 111 days, like 111. 42 days equals 1 month and 11 days. 42 days equals the date 211, equaling 1 month and 11 days. Holy shit. Yeah, this thing, I'm just still really absorbing all of these colonization codes. Yeah, let's I'm at 2 hours and 23 minutes. 3:22 backwards. Oh my gosh. I was born on 11/18, the 322nd day of the year, like the Skull and Bones fraternity. Oh. Okay. this? Damn. Okay. Now I figured out how I'm going to end this video. So let me just reorganize myself here. Hi. Went over a lot of stuff. Yeah, this is what I've been working on this past 3 years. Is making sense of these thought-to-jet pillars. Go. Almost there. Normally I'm doing this in my brain. That's why I'm glad I printed out all of this stuff. Okay. Get a little bit more organized here. Good. Okay. Okay. All right. So remember the whole Leo line equaling 3-7. When you flip it upside down, he holds the flower of life. There's 61 circles in the flower of life. 370 minutes equals 610 time. 61 minutes equaling 101. 101 minutes equaling 141. So from the Lahaina fires on 8/8/2023 to the Gaza attacks on 10/7 equaling 61 days. From the Palisades fires on 1/7 to the Long Island fires on 3/8, equaling 61 days. Your 61 circles in the flower of life, 61 minutes equaling 101. 37 degrees in Freemasonry, 370 minutes equaling 600 time. The other line, flipped upside down, is 037. He holds the flower of life. There's 61 circles in the flower of life. 61 days separates these two major colonization events. The gematria for Maui fires equals 101. Gematria for Palestine equals 101. Gematria for ley lines equals 101. This happened on major ley lines, and they tried to blame this on climate change, equaling 101 in gematria. So you're 37 degrees in Freemasonry, right? Leo, mirror, and flip is 037, equaling 61, equaling 610 in time. 37 times 3 equals 111. 61 times 3 equals 1830 and 183. 1830 in military time equals 1110 minutes, like the Indian move back to 1830, and your Days of the Dead on 11/1. And your holy frequency, 111 hertz. 3 windows behind the Last Supper, behind the Christ, equaling, looking like the holy frequency. The Last Supper was on 4/2, when the 42nd prime equals 181, and your Last Supper painting measures 181 inches, and 42 days equals 1 month and 11 days, like 111. 420 on leap year equals 111 days, like 111. So, number all the numbers in this video, if you can, pertaining to the Last Supper, 181, right? And yeah, you guys are very intelligent. You guys can remember all these numbers. 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like 528 hertz, the precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum. Your Indian removed back to 1830 on 528. Resolution 181. Romo sees his twin brother Remo, 181, 44 BC. The Jesuits were founded in 1540, right? So watch this. From the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 726, mocking the Last Supper, to the opening of the first holy door on 1224 equals 4 months and 28 days. Like 4 months and 28 days equaling 528. Like your Indian removed back to 1830 on 528. From the opening ceremony of the Olympics, hold on, 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. Like your Last Supper, measuring 181 inches. And opening ceremony of the Olympics, they're mocking the Last Supper. Yeah, all the shit that like connects with just that and just the first is crazy. So from the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 726, to the opening of the second holy door on 1226, Abraham Lincoln's massacred hanging, equals 154 days, like the Jesuits founded in 1540. Who opened this door? The first Jesuit Pope Francis opening the second portal door. The Jesuits founded in 1540, and that was separated by 154 days, the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper, right? From the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 726, the opening of the third holy door on 1229, the anniversary of the Battle of Wounded Knee, the deadliest mass shooting on the Lakota people, on 1229. That equals 22 weeks. 122 days equals 528 hours, and 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like your Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 528 and Resolution 181. Colonization, once again. From the opening ceremony of the Olympics on the mocking the Last Supper on 726 to the opening of the Holy Door, the fourth one, on 101 of 2025 equals 5 months and 7 days. And the date 5/7 equals 101 hertz, like 61 circles in the flower of life, 61 minutes equaling 101. 5/7 equals 18 weeks in 1 day, like 181. 5 hours and 70 minutes equals 610 in time, like 61 circles in the flower of life. 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months and 1 day. 5/7 equals 128 days, like the frequency of the flower of life. L mirrored and flipped is a 7, and the 7th matic cell division equals 128. 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months and 1 day. Yeah, so this number 5/7, 57 plus 75, its mirror equals 132. 5/11 the Lemuria equals 132 days. 37 degrees in Freemasonry. 101 plus 3 months and 7 days equals, or no, excuse me, 37 degrees in Freemasonry, 3 hours and 70 minutes equals 410 in time, when 101 plus 4 months and 10 days equals the date 511. So, where are we at here? From the opening ceremony of the Olympics, marking the Last Supper, we already read that one. From the opening ceremony of the Olympics, marking the Last Supper on 7/26, to the opening of the fifth holy portal door on 1/5, equals 5 months and 11 days, like 511 in Lemuria, equaling 132 days. From Moses' twin brother Remo, 511, 44 BC. 511 in time. 511 in time equals 311 minutes, when 911 minutes equals 311 in time. The adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 311. The Colonization Association on 911. Lemuria colonization 181, 44 BC on 511, when all these motherfuckers equal each other, and 911 plus 181 days equals 311, equaling 44 hertz on the calendar cipher system, like 511 and 44 BC. When 511 in time equals 311 minutes. Order of the Jesuits, IX6I equals 911, and 5 months and 11 days separating the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper, equaling 181 inches. Get the fuck out my face. So anybody out there claiming to have broken the Matrix, like your Sevan Bomars and your Robert Edward Grants and your Billy Carsons, you guys haven't broken shit. You guys broke a turd off your butt, and now you're wiping a shit for the next 3 years, who knows how long. But nobody's broken no Matrix, except for this guy right here. So, Leo mirrored and flipped your whole colonization code. Let's look at this again here and refresh our memory with the 61 circles in the flower of life equaling 101 in time. 61 equals 101 is equal to 37 degrees in Freemasonry, and 61 days separates the Lahaina fires with the Gaza attacks on 10/7, when the gematria for all of these things equals 101 and 61 minutes equals 101 in time, right? And from the Palisades fires on 1/7 of January 7th to the Long Island fires equals 61 days. Now keep all that in mind, knowing that 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 1 day, and all that shit, and 61 circles in the flower of life, 61 minutes equals 101, and 57, the date 5/7 equaling 128 days, like your flower of life frequency, 128 hertz, and 5 hours and 70 minutes equals 610 in time. So keep the number 610, 57, and 101 all in mind. And 141, because remember, 101 minutes equals 141 in time. From the Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 5/28, signed into law by your Grand Master Mason Andrew Jackson, to your establishment of Resolution 181 on 11/29 of 1947, endorsed by your other Grand Master Mason Harry Truman, equals 1410 months, like 37 degrees in Freemasonry, mirrored and flipped. 037 equals Leo the Lion. Leo the Lion holds the flower of life. There's 61 circles in the flower of life. 370 minutes equals 610 in time, and 61 minutes equals 101, and 101 minutes equals 141 in time. Like 141, 1410 months, separating two major colonization events signed into law and endorsed by Grand Master Masons. Now, from the Lahaina fires on 8/08 of 2023 to the Gaza attacks on 10/7 equals 61 days. From the Palisades fires on 1/7 on 107, like 10/7, but 107, like the Palisades fires on 107 of 2025, to the Long Island fires on 3/8 of 2025 equals 61 days. From the Paradise fires on 11/8 of 2018 to the Maui fires on 8/08 of 2022 equals 57 months. Remember, 5 hours and 70 minutes equals 610 in time. 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 1 day, like 181. The date 5/7 equals 18 weeks and 1 day, like 181. See how that shit connects? I fucking hope so. Because, yeah, I'm on my fucking last limb here, kids. From the Vegas Harvest Music Festival on 10/1/101 of 2017 to the Paradise Fires on 11/8 of 2018 equals 57 weeks, equaling 404 days. 5 570 minutes equals 9.5 hours, like the date 404 equaling 95 days. This is just like the Lemuria code, 5 hours and 90 minutes equaling 950 in time, when the date 44 equals 95 days. 5 hours and 90 minutes equals 630 in time, when the date 630 equals 181 days, like the Lemuria 59, 181, 44 BC. So this is just a continuation of that code, because 5/7 lines up with 610 hertz, and 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 10 days. 5 hours and 70 minutes equals 7 to 9, 16 in time, and the date 5/7 equals 18 weeks and 1 day, like 181. So it connects all these different ways, but it reveals the 181 colonization code. So, from the Harvest Music Festival on 10/1 of 2017 to the Maui fires involving the same police chief on 8/08 equals 70 months and 7 days, like 707. 101 plus 707 equals 808. 61 circles in the flower of life times 7 equals 427, when 427 minutes equals 707 in time. From the Gaza attacks on 10/7 of 2023 to the Taiwan earthquakes on 4/3 of 2024 equals 5 months and 28 days, like 181 days equaling 5 months and 28 days. Christ was crucified on 4/3, equaling 3 months and 3 days, 833 and 33 AD. From the Maui fires on 8/08 of 2023 to the Chile fires on 2/5 of 2024 equals 181 days, equaling 5 months and 28 days. The Jesuits were founded on 927, equaling 95 days remain. Like 5/9 of Lemuria, 590 minutes equals 950 in time. So the Elk fires and the Hurricane Helena were on 927, the anniversary of the Jesuits being founded on 927. And from that day, the Hurricane Helena and the Elk fires, El mirrored and flipped to 73, remember? And Hell, El Evan times El Evan equals 1210, when 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. So from the Elk fires, Hurricane Helena on 9/27, 2024 to the Malibu fires on 12/10 of 2024 equals 1776 hours, equaling 74 days. Like the Illuminati founded on 1776 on 5/01, equaling 121 days. And the U.S. founded in 1776 on 7/4, Independence Day. Yeah. Illuminati founded on 1776 on 5/01, equaling 121 days, when 73 mirrored and flipped is L mirrored and flipped to 73. L Evan times L Evan equals 121. L mirrored and flipped to 73, 730 minutes equals 1210 in time, like L Evan times L Evan equaling 1210 in time, or equaling 1210. Yeah, shit was stupid. From the Malibu fires on 12/10 of 2024 to the LA fires, the Palisades fires on 10/7, La equals 3 hours and equals 4 weeks and 1 day. Like 37 degrees in Freemasonry, 3 hours and 70 minutes equals 410 in time. 370 minutes equals 610 in time, but 3 hours and 70 minutes equals 410 in time. Like 4 weeks and 1 day. Date 410 equals 101 days, like 61 minutes equaling 101 in time. So see how all these numbers like keep fractaling within themselves? And these people have known this code for a long enough time to be orchestrating all this bullshit. So from the Chile fires on 2/5 of 2024 to the Texas smokehouse fires on 2/26 of 2024 equals 528 hours. Like 181 days equaling 5 months and 28 days. The Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 528 and Resolution 181. Colonization. Every one of these fires is a freaking colonization ritual, and yeah, they've been doing this shit since the 1800s. It's just a way of developing new developments, and yeah, it's annoying. And there's those numbers again. And I'm gonna end this video because I'm just about brain fried from going over all this. Usually I just do like 1 hour to 2 hour lives, and I'm not 2 hours and 44 minutes. And 244 minutes equals 404 in time. The date 9/1 equals 244 days, when 244 minutes equals 404 in time. And that mirrors the Illuminati being founded on 501. The date 501 equals 121 days with 244 days remain. The date 901 equals 244 days with 121 days remain. So it's like a mirror. They're like mirrors of each other, but backwards. So 901 minutes equals 301 in time, when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. 501 in time equals 301 minutes, when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. So for 244 days to remain, or on 501, the Illuminati founded on 501, equaling 121 days. 244 days remain. 244 minutes equals 404 in time, and 501 lines up with 95 hertz. Date 404 equals 95 days. And L11 times L11 equaling 121. L mirrored and flipped is a 73. 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. The date 73 equals 181 days, equaling 590 hertz, the Lemuria. So this colonization code, I finally have it so organized to where I'm just trying to compress and just chisel away all the unessentials until the entire truth is revealed. But just knowing that 846 minutes equals 14.1 hours, and 1410 months separates two major colonization events by two Grandmaster Masons. And on 9/11, the twins were hit at 8:46, and the tower fell at 10:28. Is just ridiculous, being 110 years precisely after the Colonization Association of 9/11, 1891. And they're open on 4/4 of 1973, when 110 hertz is the root harmonic of 40 hertz in the second octave. And the Twin Towers were 110 stories tall, and they're hit by flight L11, and L11 days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. So I probably overloaded you folks with numbers, but this shit's easy for me. I lucid dream this shit and wake up and write this stuff down to where I can be doing multitask type stuff. I was prepping sushi parties before I shut down my sushi catering business. I was prepping sushi parties to feed 15 to 20 people while doing this work still. So hit me up on my Instagram, and Paul Munarriz, PaulMunarriz 1177 on the gram, and hit me up if you guys want to go live with me and ask some questions and pick my brain. I'm all for it. But have yourselves a beautiful, lovely day, my friends.